What is the worst cartoon ever? The UK tried to do its own Family Guy called Full English. It was awful. No one remembers it, but for my sins I do. Allow me to present to you Titanic. The legend goes on. Yes, it is a poorly animated version of Titanic. Except with a happy ending. Yes. It's a terrible mashup of 5 different plotlines. Yes. There are talking animals that look like great value versions of Don Bluth characters. Yes. There is a rapping dog. Yes. This clip is completely unedited. This is exactly how it appears in the film. Yes, there is a different animated retelling of the Titanic. Yes, this one is the worst of the two. One of the worst, but also unintentionally hilarious cartoons I have ever come across is The King Lion. It is kind of a very bad Lion King rip-off, but they have also tried to squeeze in references to other cartoons in there. It is even worse, better if you can watch it with the Norwegian dub. It is horrible and incomprehensible, but also laugh out loud funny. The same voice actors have also made some other infamous dubs. My wife got this on VHS when she was a 9-year-old kid. The person who bought it for her thought it was the Disney movie. Needless to say, the experience was disappointing. What is weird is that around the same time, my family visited the small shopping mall in the area where she and her family lived. We did not know each other yet at the time. It would be another 9 years before we first met each other. I remember very vividly that I saw a Lone King Lion VHS sitting on a shelf in a store there. I also remember thinking to myself, that must be absolute trash. Someone is going to get very disappointed. I feel like most people here missed out on some of the really terrible cartoons that came out in the 80s and 90s. Someone else already mentioned Hammerman, which featured MC Hammer as a crime fighter with magic talking shoes. But there was also a Police Academy cartoon, a New Kids on the Block cartoon, and they didn't even fight crime or have magic powers. An Attack of the Killer Tomatoes cartoon, a Toxic Avenger cartoon called Toxic Crusaders, in which the character are all super wholesome and fight pollution in their town. A Little Shop of Horrors cartoon where the plant has wacky adventures with Seymour's son and apparently doesn't eat anyone. A cartoon about Sherlock Holmes in the 22nd century solving mysteries with a robot Watson. A bunch of action cartoons trying to cash in on the success of X-Men. Tush and Batman. Tush, like Wildcats, Ultra Force, etc. Most didn't last beyond a single season. And of course, that old Legend of Zelda cartoon with, excuse me, Princess. But I have some nostalgic love for that one. 2016 reboot of the Powerpuff Girls. There was an MC Hammer cartoon in the 1990s that was so bad it was unwatchable. The animation was so cheap you wouldn't be blamed for thinking they did it in Microsoft PowerPoint. You could literally count the frames as they went by. Anybody remember Annoying Orange? 2016 Ben 10.
Caillou.
Jack Chick's Stuff. Clutch Cargo for the creep factor of having static drawings with talking human mouths. Worst, CLAB 2020. Best, CLAB 2021. The Brothers Grunt is pretty hard to watch. Mega Babies. Damn, always got nightmares when I accidentally remember it. I work in the animation industry in Canada, and we do a lot of our own stuff as well as tons of service animation for American studios. The correct answer is Odd Job Jack. It's universally reviled by people in the industry, including the people who worked on it. I remember a friend of mine saying the worst part was since it was so poorly designed. He couldn't even use it on his demo reel to get a new job. It was just too embarrassing. Apparently the design and concept were done by a guy with no experience. And he would just sit around the studio smoking weed and drawing terrible designs and pitching terrible scripts. He was buddies with the studio head though, so he could do whatever he wanted. https u2.be/1fef6tz5bc. Thomas the Tank Engine. All engines go. Call me old, but for me. But it's not like the original show. People who write about Welma and Rick and Morty have never seen Kids Against Wizards. https www.youtube.com/watch v=mohewehpazq. Russian cartoon that was created with support of government. Kids are sent to some wizard school that make girls and boys choose magic over Christian values. Girls are taught to be sexy and get everything with their body. The Soilder attack the priest. The school is created by Americans, by the way, to fight Russian values. At the end they win with the help of Orthodox Christ. The end. And picture is just amazing. Yes, it was created in 2016. Any of those early morning kids' cartoons that are so obviously just a lazy flash animation that it's almost insulting to the animation industry. Jabberjaw. It was like being molested in slow motion. It was just Scooby-Doo with a shark instead of a dog. Back then FUXKU. You're watching whatever we put on. High Guardian Spice.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Heracast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.